Welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is all about the Masters, and I'm going to do a swing review or work through or show you what I like in Justin Rose's golf swing and tell you why he's my tip for the Masters. So Justin Rose, why is my tip? Form, basically. He's done really well last week in the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He's been a consistent performer, had a great end to last year on the European Tour, but also he did very well in the Masters last year and has been a fairly consistent performer at the Masters the last so many years. And experience at the Masters, I think, is key. Also, I think he's very patient. I think patient at the Masters is key. So knowing your way around the golf course and being very patient for me are two great things that are going to help him perform well. Now, his golf swing. I think he's made some great changes in his golf swing over the last couple of years from the help of Sean Foley, and obviously he's worked with Sean for a long time, but I think particularly what he's improved in his golf swing is his hand path through impact and post-impact. Let's go through his golf swing and show you the good things about his golf swing and one or two little things that I think maybe he could look at in the future. So from a setter point of view, he does a pretty good job. He's very athletic from both angles, particularly face on. I wouldn't change anything at all. From down the line, I think his chin sits a little bit forward and his right arm sits a little bit too straight. So I'd like to see a bit more fold in his right arm and his chin back towards his collar address to give him a bit more stability in his upper back as he works. But he actually does a good job of that in his golf swing. So it becomes a like to do, not a must do for me. Now in the backswing, the club works back a fraction on the inside, and that's a little bit to do with the right arm address for me. And then what happens is he works up to the top of the backswing, the hand position goes a little bit deep as it goes back, and this left hand wants to cup. And in previous years, his left wrist at the top of the backswing was quite cupped. In this particular video I will show you today, his left arm is in a fantastic position at the top, and his lead wrist is pretty flat, and it's nicely matched with the club face. So a good job for me there. In the going deep and raising up, we might see sometimes the consistency of that changes, but he's pretty consistent how he moves, Justin, to be fair. On a downswing, he has a nice blend of going down and out at the same time. So this would be out, this would be down. He has a nice diagonal shape of that. The only thing I would say is the left wrist goes into a slight bit of extension, which will essentially open the face a fraction. Now, as far as I know it, Justin tries to hit a lot of fade shots, which is part of the reason he might do this. So that might be a key thing. One other thing in his backswing, just talking about his backswing again briefly, is if you look at his right leg, it works quite a bit straight in the backswing, and I really like that. That allows him to pivot correctly, maintain a centered head, which Sean likes, and the right hip works this way, so his weight works back into his right heel a little bit in the backswing. Really like that. Too many golfers are so fixated on keeping the right knee flexed, it does him more harm than good. So continuing on with his downswing, from down the line view, I think he does a great job of then getting his arms down in front of his body with his pivot rotating and opening his body in a really good manner. His footwork is exceptional. He rolls his feet and gets some air in his left toe, exactly as I'd want every golfer to do. That gives him the best control of his hand path through impact, which is one of the biggest things he's changed from me as he goes through the golf ball. He used to have a much higher exit and a lot more wrist extension. Now he has much more structure to his arms, the hand path is much lower, the left wrist is much flatter, so much more into the kind of flat or flexion state. It should have some extension, and it has got some slight extension, but in previous years the hand path was much more out to the right and he had a lot more extension in his wrists. So for me, doing a much better job. And you might see post a lot of videos using the Tour Striker Smart Ball, hitting these kind of structured arm shots, using his body pivot and taking his hands out of the swing. Great drill for you guys to do who are trying to take the hands out of the golf swing. From a face-on point of view, and for me, his backswing I really like. I wouldn't change anything. His eyes move a little bit, but his head's central. He's got great arm width, great trail arm position, great kind of pivot with his lower half, and great control. From a downswing point of view, he moves laterally probably a fraction more than I'd want. His left knee and his left hip move laterally a little bit more than I want. And to compensate for that, his head moves back a touch, which for me, I think he could be a little bit more rotary on this particular video. On the downline video, he looks like he's more rotary. They're not the same day, different outfits, different days, but just the videos I managed to get hold of to do this review. So I would think he could rotate through his left side a little bit better and have his upper body a little bit more on top of his lower body at that stage. Again, having the head work back and the legs working laterally is going to encourage his hand path to go out to the right and go into extension, which is the thing, as far as I can see, he's working on trying to change. So what can we learn from his swing? Well, allow your right leg to straighten, allow your feet to roll, and allow your hand path to work left through the golf ball. Those things are key for me to get the golf swing as good as you can possibly make it. He's my tip because of the patience, because of the golf swing, the consistency, and for me, he has the right approach between kind of organization and flair. I like that in the golf swing. So put your money on Justin, but don't send me any messages if he doesn't win. Post down below who your tips are. Who do you fancy to win the Masters? Really like to hear who you think will win. Also chat what kind of videos you'd like to see from me in the future. Enjoy the golf. It's great to see Tiger back playing. I'm excited to watch him play in the Masters. And this is one tournament every year I really look forward to watching. Please also like the video if you've enjoyed it. It really helps my channel grow. And also subscribe if you haven't. Get all the content I post for free regularly and get the notifications whenever I post a video. Thanks for watching. See you again here soon and enjoy the golf.